this is Rick Kasalich, injury specialist from exercisesforinjuries.com. In today's video, what I wanted to go through are the best post-workout recovery exercises that you can do. Now, Jenna's going to go through all of them and she's going to show you the first one right now. Good. So the first one is full body openers, and how this one breaks down, you're in a stance about hip width apart. You're standing nice and upright. You're going to bend in the knees, bend in the hips, bring the seat back, arms are back. You're in a straight line when it relates to head, shoulders, and hips. You're going to straighten the legs, straighten the hips, bring the arms overhead, arch back a little bit in the back, bring it in the head back, and then back to the start, bending the knees, bending the hips, arms behind, straight line in the upper body, bring the arms overhead, arching in the lower back, and the eyes are following the hands. So with this one, when it relates to the sets, reps, time, and intensity, sets are 1, repetitions are 5, time, smooth controlled movement with a good stop at the end position. The intensity is light. So with this one, what we're trying to do is recover from the workout. So we're working at, taking the joints through full range of motion, or a good part of the range of motion, or straightening out the joints. So for example, when it relates to the knees, we're straightening them out, so we're working on end range of motion. When it relates to the hips, we're bringing them to end range of movement, end range of motion, really to activate the glutes and stretch out the front of the hips. When it comes to the knees, when we straighten out the knees, we're working at stretching out the hamstrings. And then looking at the upper body, we're bringing the arms overhead, and that end range when it relates to the shoulders are stretching out the muscles in the shoulder, and then arching that low back is working on improving the mobility in the low back. So that basic exercise is targeting a whole bunch of things throughout the body. So it's a great exercise to do to help you recover from your workout. Okay, so that's the first one. Now going through the second one. So it's a downward dog exercise. So with this one, so you're in that four-point position. You're going to go into that plank position, and then you're going to bring the hips back, and you're in a good straight line with the upper body. You're going to hold that for a couple seconds, so up to 5 seconds, and then coming back into that plank position, and then back, bringing the hips, and going in and bringing the hips, shoulders, and hands in a straight line, and then back into that plank position. Good. So with his downward dog position exercise, looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity, sets are 1, repetitions would be 2, time would be 5-second hold, and the intensity for this one is light. So what we're doing with this one, is we're really stretching out the hamstrings and stretching out the hips with this exercise. So you might not have as much range of motion in the exercise as Jenna does, but bring the hips back as much as you can, and you really feel a good stretch throughout the hamstrings and maybe even through the calves on each side. So that's 2 of them down. Moving on to the third one. Good, so with this one, it's the forward fold exercise. Okay, and maybe we'll show it from the side. So you're standing nice and upright. You're going to be soft in the knees, bend through the hips, and then bend through that spine, throughout that spine, hanging at the bottom. You can see the knees are soft, bending through the hips, and then she's going to reverse that, moving through the spine, straightening out the hips, straightening out the legs, and then back into it as well. Knees soft, bending through the hips, bending through the spine, hanging out that bottom position and really stretching out through the spine. So this one, what we're targeting is that spine, helping out with spine movement, working on stretching out the hips and stretching out the hamstrings as well. So looking at the sets, reps, time and intensity, for this one, sets would be 1, repetitions would be 2, time would be 5 seconds, intensity would be light. So we're looking at either doing a stretch, like a static stretch in the bottom position, or we're working on mobility or movement in certain areas, specifically the spine, going from that upright position and into that forward fold position. Okay, it says 3 down. Moving on to the 4th one. Okay, good. So it's walkouts. So we'll show it from the side. So you're standing nice and upright. You're going to work your hands to the floor. You're going to walk out. Good. And so you're into a plank, straight arm plank position, and then back out, and then back into that standing. How about you show one more repetition? I can highlight a couple things. So going upright, coming back, bringing the hands down. So you're really working on stretching out the hamstrings and the glutes. You're walking out, really hamstrings and glutes and calves stretching out. And then we're getting that plank position, which really activates the muscles in the core, abdominals, and in the shoulders. And then you walk back out, really stretching out the calves, hamstrings, and glutes. So looking at the sets, reps, time, and intensity, for this one, sets are 1, repetitions would be 5. Time would be smooth controlled movement with a good stop at the end position, as you saw Jenna did in the straight arm plank position. And the intensity is light, and I've kind of talked about what we're targeting. So give those 4 exercises a go after your workout. They'll help you recover from your workout, so you get more from your workout and you'll feel better later on and the next day. Now, if you want some of my other videos when it relates to exercise to help you overcome your workout, what I recommend you do is head down below in the description and click the playlist, or click some of the videos that I suggest when it relates to exercises to do after your workout. Now, if you got benefit from this video, make sure to like this video. If you have a question or comment for me, leave it down below in the comments section. And lastly, hit subscribe to get future pain relieving videos.